Welcome everybody to the top 5 horror games under $5 on the Microsoft Store. First up at number 5, we have Resident Evil Code Veronica X. It has been 3 months since the destruction of Raccoon City. Claire Redfield travels to Europe in search of her brother. Claire infiltrates the Paris laboratory of Umbrella Corporation, but is captured after a heated gunfight. The captured Claire is then sent to Rockford Island, but shortly after her arrival, the island is attacked. Amidst the chaos, a horde of zombies are released. Can Claire escape the horrors of the island? Talk about chaos, that sounds crazy. And this game is, man, if you know anything about Resident Evil, this was originally a Sega Dreamcast game, and then they upgraded it to HD, put it on the Xbox 360, and now you can download it here for only $3.99. That's right, you save $16 on this one. And you're gonna want to not pay too much for this. It's an older title. The controls are pretty rough. It's that classic Resident Evil goodness, man. I remember watching my brother play, I think it was the first or second Resident Evil on the PS1, and this really is similar. You know, it came out fairly shortly after that, so it's still got the really tanky controls and the camera angles that are switching around on you. I think I would have a easier time fighting off a zombie in real life, especially the crazy like 28 days later fast crack-headed ones, than I would actually fighting off a zombie in this game. It's tough, man. I had a knife out and I'm trying, but man, it is tough when you got a whole horde of them. Me in this game and its controls don't really mix, but I still like watching people play it. Like I used to watch my brother play it when I was a little kid. I would get scared. This has got the same kind of great Resident Evil scary vibes as I remember from way back in the day playing it recently. It's a piece of history and it's something worth going back to. This HD version of it, Resident Evil, man, really never gets old. It's got a great vibe, a great horror vibe, and you're going to want to hop back into it. So like I said, you can do it there. Save yourself $16. These aren't going to be on sale forever, so make sure if you miss the sale, add these games to your wish list on Xbox. A lot of times they come back around for the same price or cheaper. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel so when I drop a new video, these games will be on sale for you because you can get to them right away and take advantage of these deals. Next up at number 4, we got Ghosts and Goblins. This is a part of the Capcom Arcade Stadium game. You can buy games within the game. The initial download is free, so you can download it for free. I think it comes with one free arcade game on there, 1943, that Shoot 'em Up World War II game, the old arcade game. But once you get into the arcade stadium game, you can buy other games, and this one happens to only be $1.99. Now this ain't a sale, this should be $1.99 or cheaper forever. So download your free Capcom Arcade Stadium. This is Capcom Arcade Stadium 1. They just came out with 2. I don't know if you can get this with the newer Capcom Arcade Stadium, but both of those are free. If you want to check them both out, each of them come with a free game. Like I said, only $1.99 here for Ghosts and Goblins. So if you don't already know, Ghosts and Goblins is where the princess has been kidnapped by the Demon Lord. It's up to the valiant knight Arthur to defeat the demonic hordes and save his beloved princess. Ain't that sweet? Ghosts and Goblins is a side-scrolling action game. Contact with enemies or enemy fire makes you lose your armor. You'll lose a life if you're hit when you have no armor. If you die with 0 lives left, then it's game over. It's got great enemies, great levels, spooky levels. You got these zombies with red hair. I love that. They got red and blue on. Those are my colors. You got all kinds of different weaponry. He's throwing spear-looking things. He's throwing fireballs. He's got this. He's got axes. He's got this. He's got that. And you gotta love these old 2D side-scrollers. You got pickups. You got classic old-school top scores. You're trying to beat out your buddies. You want to be the king of the arcade? Well, you gotta be the top scorer guy. If you want to really run things around there, you can try to do that. I think they probably have online leaderboards too, so if you want to be the king of Xbox Live, then you can do it. You know, that's more people, that's more competition. Think you're all big and bad at your local arcade? Well, wait till you get online and really come up against other players like me out there. Now, I'm not too good at this. I just still learning this one. You know, there's a lot of trial and error, but that was the beauty of a lot of these older games. You know, they're tough, man. It takes a while to get to the second level. It's tough, but it'll make you a better gamer, and at the same time, you're learning about gaming history as well. This game just looks great. The contrast, the colors, for an older game, it still really pops and stands out, and you gotta love that. Ghosts and Goblins ones there, $1.99. This one shouldn't be changing on you too much, so you can get this just about any time. Now at number 3, Condemned Criminal Origins. This game came out on the Xbox 360. This is published by Sega, developed by Monolith Productions. And when this thing came out, I could not believe the graphics on the Xbox 360. They looked so great. It was so immersive. I felt like I was actually in an abandoned building and all these creepy dudes are coming out. This is a scary one here. This is a first-person psychological thriller. Be ready before you jump in there because this is some intense stuff here, guys. And it holds up pretty well for an Xbox 360 game. The atmosphere is great. The enemies are great. The action is great. I love the ragdoll effects in the game. It's super fun, man. Let's read some of these reviews. It has great reviews as well. I want to pull one of these up here. By Mason. This was one of the first games I had at the launch of the Xbox 360. This game is brutal, he says. That's the truth. Since it is all in first person, you really get to experience horror with some gruesome death kills. Highly recommend playing this at night with lights off and sound turned up. That's the way to do it. Let's read another one of these reviews. Here's a good one. He says, one of the most immersive horror games ever made. It still holds up fairly well graphically and runs almost perfect on Series S. The only issue I've found is that sometimes the game will freeze when trying to load into the beginning of a new chapter, but it doesn't affect gameplay at all. Other than that, it's a fantastic game. Now my fingers crossed it'll get a 60 FPS boost like some of Monolith's other games. Maybe it's freezing because you're on the Series S. Maybe you should try the Series X. No, I don't know. Series S is actually very solid, I've heard, so that's probably not the issue. I'm just joking. I like to joke on the Series S, but alright, let's read one more review. Here's one. Really good graphics. This is from 2017 as well, so this dude wasn't from back in the day. At the time the graphics were great. No, this is a dude from the future saying really good graphics still. He says the gameplay is on par, the graphics look almost photorealistic, and the scare factor is really high up past the limit. Hopefully Condemned Bloodshot makes its way on the list. So this game has some sequels as well that are probably worth checking out. But this one right here, this is the beginning here. Criminal Origins, Condemned Criminal Origins. This one will only cost you $3.99. You're saving $16. You definitely want to pick this up. This is a special one here. Now, next up, number 2 is Friday the 13th, the game. You play as Jason Voorhees or the Campers. For the first time ever, you will have the opportunity to play as Jason Voorhees, the most famous killer in horror. Stalk your prey, ambush them whenever you see fit, and strike fear in the hearts of so many helpless victims as you become the legend himself. Friday the 13th, the game will include a variety of kills, new and familiar, that will help you set the tone for the Jason Voorhees that you want to be. You'll even get to unlock various Jason incarnations from the movie, so there's all kinds of different Jason skins you can get. You customize the survivor campers that are running around from Jason Voorhees. How will you survive? The entire focus of Friday the 13th, the game, is multiplayer. Survival is entirely up to you, as you either stealthily hide from Jason or work together as a team to escape or bring the fight to Jason. Playing as a counselor is all about risk and reward, giving players multiple means of triumph over Jason. Want to hide in the woods as you wait for the police? Perhaps you want to band together and try to take on Jason as a group. Maybe you and a friend decide to fix a boat on the lake and escape while leaving everyone else to their fate. There are endless opportunities to survive the night, but every choice has a consequence. No single strategy will ever be reliable, forcing players to adapt and change each time they begin their long night in Camp Blood. It's a whole lot of multiplayer fun. It really feels like you're playing the movie. It feels like you're right there in a horror movie. They did a great job of doing that. A lot of games, when they try to recreate a movie-like experience, sometimes they just throw in a lot of cutscenes and they want to just have you doing a bunch of scripted events or quick time this, and it's a lot of times linear, but this really gives you the freedom. What would you do in a horror movie? People want to yell at the screen, "Oh, what are you doing, you dummy? I would have done this." Well, in Friday the 13th, the game, you can really put those strategies that you're yelling at the screen about. Now you can try for yourself and see how easy or how hard it really is. Put your money where your mouth is. You can download this for only $4.49. You're going to be saving $10.50, and it's well worth it. A great multiplayer horror game, maybe one of the best. So now, next up at number 1, numero uno, the best horror game under $5 is Outlast. In the remote mountains of Colorado, horrors wait inside Mount Massive Asylum, a long abandoned home for the mentally ill, recently reopened by the research and charity branch of the transnational Murkoff Corporation. The asylum asylum has been operating in strict secrecy until now. Acting on a tip from an anonymous source, independent journalist Miles Epster breaks into the facility, and what he discovers walks a terrifying line between science and religion, nature and something else entirely. Once inside, his only hope of escape lies with the terrible truth at the heart of Mount Massive. You're a journalist and you go up into the insane asylum, and it's insane, let me tell you guys. And you're armed with a camera, and if you want to see stuff, you got to put it in night vision mode. Your batteries might run low, and you're going to be chased around this insane asylum. It looks realistic, especially when you got night vision on, and it is super spooky. I love it. I think this might be the scariest game I've ever played. Outlast is where it's at. Let me tell you guys, this is a single player experience, which I think a lot of times, as much as I like multiplayer, as much as I like PvP, if you really want to get spooked out, you want to play single player. There's no one there to save you, no one there to help you out. You're in it alone, and that's why this is one of the best horror games out there. So it's a lot of sneaking around, stuff like that, trying to be stealthy, avoid these monstrous creatures in this insane asylum. Great setting, great gameplay, great jump scares as well. The jump scares are next level in this. Let's end it off here with a review. This one is from the Hero 0131, a real madhouse. He says, when I first found out, I wasn't exactly interested, but after hearing Games with Gold was adding Outlast to this month, I said, why not give it a try? And I must say, this game takes horror to a new level. You're surrounded by the insane, and all you have is a camera and your wits, and that's it. You have nothing to fight back. It's run or hide or die. Now for the horror factor, it takes psychological and fear of the insane and made you the only sane person to figure out the mystery of the asylum. But overall, with the atmosphere, gruesome character design, and scares throughout the whole game, Outlast has proven to stand as a fantastic game for us horror fans. There you have it. I tried telling you guys, so check them out. Let's review here the top 5 horror games under $5 on the Microsoft Store. At number 5, we had Resident Evil Code Veronica X. Number 4, Ghosts and Goblins. Number 3, Condemned Criminal Origins. Number 2, Friday the 13th, the game. And at number 1, Outlast, baby, still going strong. So add them to your wish list there. You'll get them if you didn't this time, and hopefully I saved you guys some money out there. I know times can be tough, prices are going up, so if I can save you guys some money, that's what I like to do out here, make myself useful. So anywho, let me know which one on the list is your favorite, if you played any of these, and until next time, this has been Rusty Pfluger, over and out.